What does it actually mean to be a man today? Seriously, stop and think about it. The messages are often conflicting, aren't they? Be strong, but be sensitive. Be ambitious, but don't miss out on life. Be authentic, but don't show weakness. It's a confusing landscape, and for years, I felt like I was stumbling through it, trying to piece together a sense of identity from outdated stereotypes, social media highlight reels, and the often silent expectations of others. I remember my early 20s feeling like an endless audition. I was trying on different personas, chasing external validation, pushing down inconvenient emotions, and often, frankly, making a mess of things. I thought being a man meant being tough, stoic, always having the answers. But the more I tried to fit that mold, the more disconnected I felt from myself and from the people who mattered most. It was through my biggest failures, through moments of profound loneliness and regret, that these unwritten rules began to emerge. Not from a textbook, but from a messy, exhilarating, sometimes brutal school of life. These aren't rigid dogmas. They're not about conforming to someone else's idea of masculinity. Instead, think of them as guiding principles, a compass for building character, integrity, and a meaningful life. They're about cultivating an internal strength that allows you to navigate the complexities of the modern world with purpose and authenticity. Ready to dive into the principles that can truly anchor a man in the modern world? Here are 7 rules I've learned, often the hard way, that I believe every man should live by. Rule number 1, own your word. This is foundational. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you make a promise, keep it. If circumstances change and you genuinely can't deliver, communicate immediately, clearly, and proactively. Your word is your currency. It builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. I spent years flaking on small commitments, telling myself it didn't matter. But the cumulative effect was corrosive. It eroded my self-respect and taught others they couldn't truly rely on me. The shift to rigorously owning my word, even on tiny things, was painful at first, but it built an integrity that radiates into every area of life. What would it feel like to know, deep in your bones, that your word is unbreakable? Rule number 2, master your emotions, don't suppress them. For too long, masculinity has been associated with stoicism, with the idea that real men don't cry or don't express fear or vulnerability. This is a dangerous lie. Suppressed emotions don't disappear. They fester, they explode, or they manifest as resentment, anger, or even physical illness. True strength isn't the absence of feeling. It's the capacity to understand, process, and express your emotions constructively. It's learning to identify what you're actually feeling beneath the anger, to articulate your needs, and to sit with discomfort without lashing out or shutting down. I once lost a significant friendship because I couldn't articulate my hurt, letting it morph into passive aggression. Learning to name my feelings, to share them vulnerably, was terrifying but profoundly liberating. What emotions are you currently suppressing? And what's the cost of that silence? Rule number 3, take radical responsibility. This means for everything. For your choices, your reactions, your mistakes, your current circumstances, and your future. It's the antithesis of blame, complaint, and excuse-making. This doesn't mean you're responsible for everything that happens to you, but you're always responsible for how you respond to it. This rule is the ultimate source of personal power. When you stop pointing fingers and start asking, what can I do? What part did I play? What can I learn? You reclaim your agency. I spent years blaming my economic situation, my family history, my past failures. It wasn't until I truly grasped radical responsibility that I stopped feeling like a victim and started charting my own course. Where in your life are you still ceding power by making excuses? Rule number 4, cultivate meaningful purpose beyond yourself. A man without purpose is often adrift, chasing fleeting pleasures or external validation. Purpose isn't just about ambition or career success. It's about identifying something larger than yourself that you want to contribute to, a problem you want to solve, a legacy you want to build. This gives direction, resilience, and a deep sense of fulfillment. It allows you to weather setbacks because your focus isn't just on personal gain, but on something truly meaningful. For me, shifting from chasing arbitrary career titles to pursuing work that genuinely helped others felt like finally finding true north on a confusing map. What problem in the world resonates so deeply with you that you feel compelled to contribute to its solution? Rule number 5, build, don't consume. We live in an age of infinite distraction and passive consumption. It's easy to spend hours scrolling, watching, consuming content, entertainment, and fleeting pleasures. But a man of substance is a man who builds. He creates. He learns. He produces. This doesn't mean you can't relax or enjoy things, but that the balance shifts. Are you spending more time building skills, creating value, nurturing relationships, or contributing to something tangible than you're passively consuming? This rule is about active engagement with life, about leaving your mark, however small, on the world around you. I once fell into a deep trap of endless video game consumption, only to emerge feeling emptier than before. The liberation came from channeling that energy into learning a new skill, however clumsy I was at first. What are you building, literally or figuratively, that gives you a sense of accomplishment? Rule number 6, seek wisdom, not just information. Information is abundant. Wisdom is scarce. Wisdom comes from reflection, from learning from experience, your own and others, from critical thinking, and from a deep humility that recognizes how much you don't know. It's about questioning assumptions, being open to new perspectives, and continuously refining your understanding of the world and your place in it. Don't just collect facts. Seek to understand patterns, consequences, and deeper truths. I used to think intelligence was about having all the answers. A painful failure taught me that true wisdom was recognizing how much I still needed to learn and cultivating the curiosity to do so. How often do you seek to truly understand, rather than just to be right? Rule number 7, protect your core values fiercely. What do you stand for? What are your non-negotiables? Honesty? Loyalty? Courage? Compassion? Identify these core values, write them down, and then live by them uncompromisingly. The world will constantly test them, offering temptations for comfort, popularity, or perceived gain if you just bend a little. But compromising your values is a guaranteed path to inner discord and regret. This is your internal compass, your anchor in the storm. I've faced situations where compromising my values felt like the easy way out, but the internal cost was always devastating. Upholding them, even when difficult, brings an unshakable sense of integrity. What are your non-negotiable values? And are you living in alignment with them today? These 7 rules aren't about becoming a perfect man, because such a thing doesn't exist. They're about becoming an anchored man, a man of character, a man who earns respect not through bravado, but through integrity, self-awareness, responsibility, purpose, and relentless growth. This is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be stumbles, there will be setbacks, but having these principles as your compass will guide you through the storms and towards the most meaningful version of yourself. So, I challenge you. Pick one of these rules this week, just one, and commit to living it consciously. Observe a shift. What principles do you already live by? What does it mean to you to live with true character? Thanks for listening. If this resonated with you, share your thoughts and what rule you're focusing on. And remember, the journey of becoming a man of character is the greatest adventure of all.